시작하고 아마도 쉬고 Oh, hello. I'm gonna do some training for myself to see if I'm able to pour a 5 rosetta. So doing that, you do need a pretty good milk jug, because the milk jug actually helps a lot. Of course, if you are very experienced, I don't think you do need any milk jugs. You can just pour it randomly. But for pouring the things I was talking about, you will have to. So I will start with the base. Not really. So that's the 3 rosetta. I mean 4, 5 rosetta. And see if I can make it like a 4 rosetta. Oh, that's more than 4 rosetta. Three rosetta. To making this very, I can't say very detailed, but very precise latte art, you do want to make sure that you actually pour a bit more, and you want to make sure that your milk gets a little bit less hot. And then now I'm going to do a 2 rosetta. So 2 rosetta. Then a single rosetta. That's the milk jug that I'm using. Of course, if you're using a standard milk jug, you can achieve similar result. And then if you're using the cup that you use all the time, you can also get a better result on it. Today's Friday. Where's everyone watching from? Like, this is Australia. And since that, I still want to practice a little bit of my other latte art because everyone is doing very good except basically me. No, I was trying to do a skull, but it didn't work. And now I'm making a mess. It's like a shitty looking seahorse. Different from practicing two different latte art. It's very different. So it's one, it's called free pour. So by free pour, you're actually controlling the flows and everything. There's another one which is not a free pour. Another one, it's like wing. So it's like the other way around. You're actually trying to pour more to expand. And which one's harder? They're both not easy. It's just, but in terms of look and feel, the wing rosetta, it's actually has a better drinking experience because the milk will be hotter. Of course, what I'm doing now, I'm just still trying to do a seahorse if I can. This is not good. And I pour it way too full. So you need to be able to know when to start. And how to stop. Sometimes that might be the hard bit of it. Let's try one more. So a lot of latte like this, you do want to start very early. And early also means you need to dip your milk jugs in a lot. Otherwise, it'll be very hard to make it. Maybe I need to ask some of the guys to actually train me, like some of the Australian latte art finalists. They can actually train me a little bit. That's the only one that I kind of know how to make. Still not great. But I kind of get a hang of it. You understand? To understand where to start. Still, my meal is not perfect, so there's like, you know, this dot, but you know, it could be better. Maybe I can try one more on a bigger scale. Later on, I'll make a different one. And if you can see me, I'm steaming milk in one milk jug and then pour it in the other one. By doing this, I'm actually able to make my milk a lot more frothier and a lot more easier to control. And this is very important in making like latte art. If you want it, you know, if you want to make a good looking one. Even though that one's not very good looking, but you know, I'm try. So maybe I make the one that I always make, see if there's any changes. There's one form of unicorn that I used to make all the time. Which one's better? This one or this one? Which one's better? This will be a very standard latte art now. A lot of people that actually like they get into slightly advanced, I would say like detail a latte art. This is something that you started to make, which is a unicorn, like very standard. And of course, there's different version of it. This is something that if you like, you should also learn, which is a wing. Which is a wing tulip. So movement will be completely different. Wow. Very precise. Thank you. Movement will be very different. This is called free pour. This it's called latte art, but the movement is actually very different. This one, you want to control it to be very precise. You get very little movement. This one, you actually want big movement. So it makes a pretty big differences in terms of getting this and that. So those are two different approaches in latte art. Personally, if in a cafe, this one I'll be more prefer, because to making this, you cannot make your meal very, very hot. You have to make it quite warm, like lukewarm. If in a drinking experience, it's harder. You see this little roundy dot, it normally means that I make my meal slightly too frothy or not very good. And on this hand, this one, I can make it quite hot because it requires the right movement instead of require the milk and the movement control. And this one actually pour a lot more. I can show you another one. Like, it's a problem to me that I do not have much time to actually practice, because I don't really stay in the cafe that long, and there's a lot of admin work for me to do. But still, you know, I do want to try a bit more and just, you know, get a bit more experience. And I'm gonna try to make another one, which is a bear, but you know, same thing. Jay is not very good at making those. You see, I'm heating my milk very quick, and you need to make it pretty shiny. So I think it's like around 50 something degrees. If you're watching my videos and you struggle on heating up milk, very soon I'm gonna release a videos about life-changing machines, which is a automatic milk frother. It's magnificent. I've been using it at home now. It can basically make crazy milk. Does it look like a bear? I kind of fell. Like, this is the problem with this very precise latte art. If your milk temperature is not right, your control is not right, you can't make it good. On the other hand, making a swan become very easy. So that will be a swan. I'm not sure if you can see it. That will be a swan. And yeah, I don't do live in here very often. I do live in TikTok. So I do explain. In terms of making latte art, coffee, it's not really important. It's about your milk. Of course, you do need to have the right consistency, which is the cremas and everything. But other than that, good latte art a lot of time does not mean good coffee. It just means that your coffee looks great, but it's not, you know, it's not going to be like good coffee. Good coffee, on the other hand, it's an espresso shot, and it's perfectly steamed milk. Of course, latte art does count if you have like latte art to enhance it. Actually, it will make it taste nicer, but crazy good looking, like, you know, if you spend 40 something seconds to make a latte art, it doesn't really affect the taste of the coffee. Anyone have any questions regarding to like steam meals or anything like that? Thank you, Aaron. I normally held private lessons, charging like $300-400 an hour. So if you do have questions, now it's the time to ask. So, a couple of tips of coffee. This is the milk jug tip. This is also the milk jug tips. Different tips can help you make different coffee. No, I mean, sorry, different latte art. It's the pointy one. I show you. The pointy one can actually help you make a much more precise latte art. So I would say a rosetta. But sometimes people said, "Oh, can I make a slow rosetta or something like that?" Yes, you will need a rounder spell to actually help you to do that. So now I'm gonna make a rosetta. So a many layer rosetta. How do you make a good froth for the latte art? By steam it right. It's a bit harder to explain like this. By what I mean by spin it right. So your milk want to be spinning, swirl in a circular motions instead of folding. If you realize that your milk is actually folding, that actually means it's harder to control your milk. So now I'm going to use this to make a slow rosetta. The principle is always the same, but because of a larger spell, I'm able to make something like this. Because you're using this tip, you can also do the same thing, but the outcome will be slightly different because these tips give you a very little volume compared to this tip. So by pouring stuff out, this will be better. Yes, and also by making a wing tulip, this milk jug, it's actually better. So let me have a try. 1, 2, 3. You see, it's actually a lot easier compared to this. Okay, gotta pour it in. So 1, 2, 3. If you can see it, you might know what I'm talking about. Because this milk jug, the tip is actually very little. So when I'm pouring, the base, it will be harder to make it nice. You want it like a round kind of cover. This is the problem with particular milk jug. I can't say problem. This is the characteristic of two different milk jug that going to give you this. So the tip. So based on what kind of latte art that you want to make, you can actually look for different milk jug tips. You can jump on to so if you newly started learning how to make coffee and everything, it's not a big deal to get a very good milk jug. All you actually need is a standard milk jug. It'll be fine. This message is hi from the viewer. View message. No Insta. Oh, okay. On Insta. Yeah, on Insta. Yeah. So that would be the differences of milk jug. And this one, I just find the brand WPM. This is one of the best milk jug that I always recommend to people. It's slightly expensive compared to some of them. This is okay price. I think it's about $40. It depends on what you're watching. Australia, $40. China, I think 180 Chinese money, and American dollars, I don't know, like 30 something. So this is great. Lightweight, easy to hold, and great pouring, great for frothing as well. This is a standard milk jug. So this is a standard milk jug. I don't know, like $5. $5 from like Temu's or AliExpress on places like that, and a standard milk jug. Nothing to talk about. Good spell, and those things actually make a differences. And then now, if you want to see how to steam milk, I'm changing the angle and let you have a look. So purging, it's very important. And then to understand the amount of milk. I try to steam the milk, but I always end up with visible bubble on the froth. That might be because of you make it slightly too hot. Before I really start, I'm going to use a way to practice. So what I'm doing now, it's washing detergent, ice, and water. This is the best way for you to practice your milk, because that basically, hello Charlie D'Amelio, what the hell, like that's fake, right? Oh, okay. This is the best way for you to actually practice your latte art by using this, and that will be the indicator of how you steam. Purging. Put your steam wands in. Here you can see the steam wand. There is a couple of parts. So this is the steam wand tube, and here this little things, it calls steam wand tips. The steam wand tip, you do not want to submerge your whole steam wand tip inside the milk, because if you do that, you're going to end up a very loud noise, when like high pitched noise. You don't want high pitched noise. Second, you don't want to like just submerge tiny bit of the steam wand tip. You want to submerge the right amount. So if you steam only just touching the surface, you're going to hear a bubbly noise like that. You don't want that as well. And then most likely, most of the time, if you steam it like what I was just showing you, that's the visible bubble that you got. You don't really want it. This is bad milk. So what you actually want, you want to submerge your steam wand tip about 1/3. So be basically like this. If you can see on the side, you're going to see like this much. It's like a little, what do you call it, edge, a little wedge shape. So this will be the sound that you actually want. and you want to see your milk, it's spinning. Spinning is super important. You don't want your milk. If your milk's not spinning, that means something wrong. And once temperature is done, clean it, purge it again, nice and frothy. If you can see. Nice and frothy. But those are fake milk, which is just water. Still have some shot here. Chocolate powder. Now I'm going to heat up the milk. You can have a look. Submerge 1/3. Heat up. Spin. Bubbly noise for about 3 seconds. If you do it well, the milk actually submerge the steam on. And you're going to end up hearing noises like that, which is like no noise. And once temperature is ready, turn off. And now we're starting to pour. If you're really like not really good at pouring, you transfer it into a jug. Try to pour it relatively fast, but not create too much bubble. And then 110, polish. This is what we call by polishing. Now till your jug 45 degrees, pour in the center. Center means the deepest part of your beverage. And then we start. Then you get a stacking little tulip. Of course, that's not the first latte that you should make. You should make this. So by pouring in the center, which is the deepest part, doing circles, once the liquid touching the side of the cup, lower your milk jug and starting to increase volume while flattening your cup. Then you will get a hot apple. Remember to finishing straight. Otherwise, with the other things, you get a Kim Kardashians. You don't want Kim Kardashians. Okay. Pour it back. So once you practice a couple of times of this particular pattern, which is a heart, we'll move on to a onion heart or wiggle heart or whatever. Same principle. Reaching the cyan line, starting to pouring, water pouring, wiggle, and straight. Onion heart. And once the onion heart is done, you can do a tulip. Wiggle, wiggle, tulip. Oh my god, thanks for showing that. You're welcome. Okay, once tulip's done, and now we're gonna make a rosetta. Yep, rosetta. So the milk actually slowly running out of froth. And once the rosetta is done, we're going to move on to the last one, which is the swan. The reason I have to make this one is because I'm really running out of froth to make anything like that. So, a swan. And I believe that's pretty much it. It's 35 minutes. Can I have 10 likes in total? If you guys can do that, that'd be great. Oh, thank you for that 7th like. That's pretty much it. That'll be the class, and see you guys maybe next time. Yeah, semester is gonna begin. I'm gonna train more people. Hopefully, we'll have new staff, and we're training them for free. Yeah, thank you guys. Bye. Just feel free to follow. You know, I do a lot of like random teachings on YouTube Short, so you can see it. Bye.